My dad was a real visionary. And I mean, he started the company in '45, and along about 1950, my dad said that corporations would begin to use the airplane for business purposes. And the long-term viability of a company would be in servicing the needs of that community. And he reasoned that we should own an airport. We recognized the jet was going to be the mode of transportation. And so the first thing that we set about doing was acquiring enough property so we could have a 5,000-foot runway. Then we purchased 100 acres of property and was able to take and construct runway 1634 that's there now. Then, of course, we needed to move to an air traffic control tower so that we could safely integrate the slower piston airplanes with the jet traffic. With those things in place, then you need the various storage facilities and the rest of the stuff that goes with it to make that work.
I take a lot of pride in the things that he put together and foresight that he had to really grow his business and his dream with the development of the airport, from grass and cinder runways to really a lot what you wind up seeing today.
When the communities bought it, it was one of the busiest private airports in the world. They purchased it in 1986 and transformed it from Milwaukee, where it was back then, to what it is today.
The two communities were coming together in 1985 and they were establishing a joint partnership to run the airport.
And the plus side is that Prospect Heights and Wheeling now get together, so between us, we complement each other to bring this airport into each one of our communities.
We've got a great relationship. It's not my agenda or her agenda. It's the agenda of 58,000 people that we have to be concerned about. And I think we do a great job at that.
And I think that's the tremendous thing about having a harmonious board, is that we need to work together for us to make a decision that sticks.
The working relationship through the cities has been phenomenal. Again, they have a diamond right in the middle of their own backyard that many communities do not have.
We're in a unique situation here at CEA in that you have the top 2 FBO chains in the entire world. And if you look at airports our size, where you have both the number 1 and number 2 players in the world, I think you'd find CEA to be in a very enviable position. We provide executive terminal services, and we'll also service your aircraft with fuel, and we do the basics of marshaling aircraft in and out. We do all the aspects of fixed base operation like catering, fueling, maintenance, and those general aspects.
So we have Signature Flight Support and Atlantic. They're rated number 1 and number 2 in the world for the size and quality FBOs. So I'm very proud that we have both.
Chicago Executive Airport has made this a more usable airport, which has allowed us to grow as a company. So I think Priester and Chicago Executive Airport have very, very aligned goals.
The more things that we do at this airport, safety related and improvement wise, makes us all the more a world-class facility.
Anytime there's a safety item that comes up at a board meeting, it's always fast-tracked on the agenda, and it's always addressed as soon as possible.
One of the biggest future projects is what's called EMAS. What that does is it prevents an aircraft from overshooting the runway. It'll basically stop the aircraft from going past like the runway safety area of an airport.
I think the most important parts of owning an airport and running an airport are having kind of that safety mentality, where you want to keep the community safe, you want to keep the noise down, you want to keep the passengers safe and the pilots safe and the aircraft safe that are around the community.
We now have access to federal funds, and we're required to follow their safety guidelines. But I don't look at it as just required. I think it's just the right thing to do.
Chicago Executive Airport is one of those airports that you can really go, wow, not only are our grass is cut in the summertime and it looks good, you can read the signs, our lights are always on.
We're constantly out here making sure everything's safe, especially in the winter.
We improve snow removal here at the airport several hundred% from where it was before. Our users prefer to come in here. They know they can depend upon the airport to provide a safe and operating airport.
By law, every international flight has to be looked at by Customs and Border Protection. The level of scrutiny at a user fee airport is the same level of scrutiny that you're going to see at any international airport.
Having a U.S. Customs is very, very important to us. It just makes sense because we are an international airport.
By having this airport with international capabilities, from the airport perspective, I think winds up being huge.
One thing we are, of course, is an economic engine to the entire area.
The location of Chicago Executive is the best business location for an air transportation facility in Chicago.
Lots of industry is really centered around, in and around this airfield. What they're doing is that they're developing business, and some of those decisions that they make affect thousands and thousands of people who reside in the area. By the airport being here, we're able to have a lot of commerce and a lot of successful business.
People come here because of the close proximity to Chicago. It's location, location, location.
It's important for the convenience of any business in the area to be able to fly in and keep their airplane here.
One of the biggest things about aviation we like to talk about at Chicago Executive Airport is the idea of time. Time is the ultimate unrenewable resource.
Time is money. Most people who operate corporate jets do so because they've recognized the value of having business aviation.
There's nothing to replace a face-to-face meeting, a handshake, a gesture. Those things, those nuances about being human beings and shaking hands and doing business like that is not lost on us as a society. So when you look at these time machines that fly in and out of here every day, they give us something that you can't ever have again. They give us time. A mile of road will take you a mile of runway will give you the world.
I see Chicago Executive continue to serve the business aviation community. That's what we do best, and I think that's what we'll continue to do.
One thing that I'm really proud is that we stand on our own. I'm proud of our location, I'm proud of our infrastructure, and I'm proud of our future vision. I think the sky's the limit.